Welcome to Siddhartha's Intent Australia, Living as Dying. My name is Sering. On this auspicious occasion of Dzongsar Khyentse Rinpoche's birthday, we offer a very warm welcome to our guest speaker, the renowned translator and Dharma teacher, Erik Pema Kunsang. Erik has translated many amazing texts, written numerous profound books, teaches widely to Dharma students worldwide, and guides participants in Bodhi training. Erik is the recipient of the Khyentse Foundation Fellowship Award 2022, is an editor for 84,000 and mentors translators for the Khyentse Vision Project. But most of all, Erik is a guiding light for all of us Dharma practitioners, an incredible example of a genuine Dharma practitioner, as has been mentioned by Dzongsar Khyentse Rinpoche. Due to Erik's generosity, these days we can receive online from wherever we are in the world the blessing of his teaching and the blessing of his gurus that comes through him. Deepest gratitude, dear Erik, for being with us today to speak on the Bardo of Dream. Thank you.
And I'm delighted to see many old friends at this time where it's not so easy to move around the world. We do it, but it's not easy. I'd like to present this lecture in a traditional format where we begin with chanting 3 verses. And the tech guy here will put them up on the screen in a few minutes. This is an occasion for making sure that not only the speaker, but also the listener is better in tune with the Dhamma through sincerity and devotion, and also especially gratitude for the lineage masters. In the land of Udiyana's northwest border, on the pistils of a lotus flower stem, you have reached the marvel of the supreme city, and became known by the name the lotus born, with surrounding circles of many dakinis. In your footsteps I will reach accomplishments. Please approach in order to bestow your blessings. Guru Pema Siddhi Samanta Bhadra Vajra Sarva Prahivadra and Shri Singham Padma Sambhava King, all the 25 disciples, Susunumya Khanda Tetsu and the others, Gurus of the Karma and the Dhamma, hear our call. In the Dhamma Tatupala Sakanishtam, essence of the Buddhas in the triple times, who directly shows our mind a Dhammakayam. Orud Guru Hidaya Ningko. And as customary, and for the benefit of everyone, we also chant 4 lines of combined refuge and Bodhisattva vow. May the Buddha, Dhamma, and the noble Sangha be the refuge till we reach enlightenment, by the merit made from giving and the others. May the Guru state be reached for being saved. Thank you very much. When we see a movie, the most important thing is not the director, is not the actors, it's not the scriptwriter, it's actually the screen. Without the screen, there is nothing to see. In the same way with our life, which consists of waking state, moment-to-moment experiences. They're like movie sequences appearing on the inner screen of your mind. And in the dream state, all the dreams take place on the screen of the mind, the same mind. But why is it that so few pay any attention to this screen? In the Mahayana teachings, we call this screen of intelligence and kindness for the Great Mother, because she enfolds and allow all experience to unfold every moment in our life, and yet Mother is unnoticed and unappreciated. If she was a real person, she would be upset and saying, "You don't write, you don't call, you don't love me anymore." So therefore, most important about the Bardo of dreaming, which we will get more into, is actually the Great Mother. The Mother, transcendental insight, Prajna Paramita. So for anyone who is interested in the Bardo of dreaming, I would like to suggest that you pay extra attention to, you write to, you call your mother, Prajna Paramita, every day, especially before falling asleep. Because the openness of mind in that moment, your love for the mother of all Buddhas, will help acknowledge that screen as your basic being during the dream state. That is so important. But especially during the daytime, as often as we can, recollect the Great Mother of all Buddhas. I have translated a four-lined verse of appreciation, not written by any Tibetan master, but back in the days of India. But it has been chanted millions and millions of times since. It's very short and very beautiful. Transcendental insight beyond likeness, thought and words, does not rise and does not cease, identity like space. The domain of the self-knowing, wakefulness in each. It has been changed. Domain of the self-knowing, wakefulness in everyone. Mother of the 3 times conquerors, we bow and praise. These are the words, but more important is the meaning. The meaning which is the very basis for our being, whether we know it or not. When the Great Mother is not known, it's called Alaya, the Alaya Vijnana, of all-ground consciousness. But when this basis is known, that basis, or that knowing, the transcendental knowing, which is without subject and object, is the mother from which all Buddhas of the past, the present and the future will awaken to enlightenment, is awakening to enlightenment, and has awakened to enlightenment in all times, in all universes. That's why I would like that we pay special attention to that part of experience which is usually unnoticed, invisible, intangible, and unappreciated. Let's change that. Let's appreciate the great mother of all Buddhas. And she's often depicted as a beautiful female Buddha with four arms holding various things. But let's be honest, the mother of all Buddhas is not a female Buddha. It's not even a person with arms and face and legs. It is the nature which is mentioned in the part of the verse without likeness, thoughts and words. There's no way to depict or illustrate the great mother of all Buddhas. There's no words for it, and it is not as something that we can think of. And all addicts of non-duality should be jubilant right now, because this is playing right into your corner of the field. That which is intangible and inconceivable, and yet part of ourself at all times, every moment. But it's not enough to just talk about non-duality. It needs to be acknowledged again and again and again. Not only written about or talked about or thought about or finding metaphors for that. Can you see the text again? Without this mother screen of experience, there's no way we can dream. There's no way we can think. There's no way we can have emotional reactions to anything. And the Buddha said, this nature is similar to space. And that is why the sky-like samadhi is praised as the most noble way to spend time in meditation, to be like space. As a preparation for the Bardo of dreaming, there's something that comes before that, which is meditation, Bardo. And the substance of meditation, Bardo, is to be like space again and again and again. And what is that? It is the time which we usually call meditation, but it's often spent on doing something. But how can you do space? It's not possible. Space is the absence of doing. What we can do makes clouds, makes sunshine, make rainbows, but we cannot make space. Space is unmade, unconstructed, and does not require our help for space to be spacious. Only one thing: appreciation, acknowledging, or recognizing. Call it what you want. We need to admit, accept that what we basically are is space-like, sky-like, and to remain in that acceptance, which is the foremost type of tolerance, of patience, is called the sky-like samadhi. It's also called suchness, shunyata, and many other beautiful words, dhammata. But one thing is sure: it never came into existence, so it does not rise. It never ceases to be in any moment. It cannot be destroyed. Does not cease. The identity is our identity as well. not only the mother of the Buddha. This, please, is something we must accept. If you are a follower of the Buddha, you call yourself a Buddhist, then please follow in the footsteps of the Buddha and identify with being like space, but not dead space, not physical space, not outer space, inner space, which is prajna paramita, transcendental insight. If it's not easy, learn about it. If it feels unfamiliar, train in it. This is the domain of self-knowing wakefulness. A wakeful quality in each of us, which is knowing by itself. It is not knowing oneself or itself. It's a knowing that requires no production. And it is like that in everyone, in all bodhisattvas and in all sentient beings. And in all Buddhas it is fully realized. In the case of bodhisattvas, it is in the process of being realized fully. And in the case of sentient beings, it lies in every moment potentially present, as long as we don't close our eyes and look away in some other direction than where it is fully visible. Mother of 3 times conqueror, the Buddhas of the past, present, and future, let's bow and offer praise. In other words, let's pay respect and remind ourselves with thoughts and words and likeness to recognize again and again the screen within which all experiences of samsara nirvana take place. That was the beginning, and that was a prelude for the Bardo of dreaming. Are we together on this? Thank you. I love this mother for many reasons. When I was small, I lost my mother. So on a mundane level, see the idea of mother and the principle of mother is very close to my heart. But on a spiritual level, there is nothing more important. I've always been fascinated by the teachings that that takes you beyond normal concepts. Not that I was very good at it, but it fascinated me. I would always go to the beginning of a sadhana and the very end where everything's to solve and see what words are they using now for this. And become familiar with those words in order to understand that which is beyond words. Because without that, it will be very hard to be successful in the Bardo of dreaming. We need to train in this during our daytime experiences. That's one side. Then the other side is what appears in the screen. The substance of our daily life experiences. And while sleeping, the dreams, the manifold, inconceivable many types of dream. And for those of you who are very interested in dreams and what they mean, I'm going to disappoint you because I attach almost no importance to dreams. I was lucky to have a teacher who said, dreams are double delusion. Daytime is delusion, dreams are double delusion. So to believe in dreams, he said, is twice stupid. They are not there. Every time you find something in a dream, when you wake up, it's guaranteed that it's not there, with a few exceptions. I won't mention. keep on dreaming, it means entertain your fantasies because they are unreal. There's nothing to it. So dreams is the most common metaphor for pointless, nothing, insubstantial. There's nothing to it. It's just a dream. Isn't that true? And yet, there is a Bardo of dreaming after a while of falling asleep, where all the senses have shut down and the active mind, the conceptual mind has shut down. There's a period of deep sleep where there's no dream also. But that period of dreamless sleep is very important for us, for regenerating the body and replenishing the energies in the different parts, vital organs and so on. Then what happens is that after the energies have entered the central channel, they get activated again. It's a little bit like having died and then waking up in the Bardo. While we have not died, that waking up is called dreaming. And then the energies begin to move around in the body. We begin to be able to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. But we're not feeling anything through the senses. We are feeling through the dream body, which is a mental body. And what occurs is in this dream state is not visible to other people. And when we say, I saw such and such, other people didn't see it. That is called the Bardo of dreaming. And it lasts until light sleep occurs, where we are like half dreaming, but we can hear what's going on in the room or the outside. And if somebody knocks on the door, we're just ready to say yes. That's no longer the real dream state. It's called very light sleep. And we're just ready to stand up and say, bring me the coffee, or go to the toilet or something. We're no longer in the dream state. Then the five senses have opened up to the outside world. And if a bird's singing, we can hear it into the light sleep. But during normal dream, we cannot. And during deep sleep, we don't hear anything. People can shoot a gun in the same room. We don't wake up from deep sleep. And you know, when people are woken from deep sleep, it takes a while for them to be activated, like a malfunctioning robot. They sit like this and don't recognize anyone. And he also is always said it's bad to wake up people while they're in deep sleep. It's unhealthy. From dream, it's not so bad. Luckily, our deep sleep state doesn't last so long of the night. More of the time we're dreaming or in light sleep. Then comes the time of waking up. And the first moment of waking up, all the masters, they say, that is a very important time to make decisions or wishes for this coming day. Sometimes for meditation practice, you make a sound, or for waking up and expanding the mind. But normally, it's simply to take the Bodhisattva vow. And which I would like to introduce in the form of 4 wishes. Not necessarily in order, but one by one, they're very, very effective for our karma, because they immediately change our karma by simply making an act of will. The 4 flowers, and I'll show them on the screen. They are spoken by the Buddha. The verse below in the Samadhi Raja Sutra, and I love those 4 lines. In the moment you wake up, or just before waking up, if you can remember, otherwise when waking up, then make this decision. May there be more moments free from bias. May there be more moments free from aggression. May there be more moments with altruistic love. May there be more moments with completely open mind. And this is very simple to make this wish. It's not a strenuous kind of practice where we have to open a book and read many pages. It's not like that. It's just 4 wishes. And even one of them brings incredible great benefit. They change our karmic stream from diverting to back on track. And this is so important in anyone's life. May there be more moments without aggression. How beautiful isn't that? And it's not more moments only in this mind, it's also in that crazy guy's mind. If we want to wish something or pray for that person, that's a simple prayer. May there be more moments in your mind without aggression. But it could just as well be in this crazy mind. It's open. You can decide. Or even better, may there be more moments in everyone's mind, free from aggression and with more love. It's the most beautiful way of making wishes. It can be dualistic or it can be non-dualistic. It depends on the individual person. But the 4th line, may there be more moments with completely open mind. Completely open mind. It means without conceptual constructs. That's the very substance of being like space. If we wish this for this mind, more moments like that means more often and lasting longer. That's the real meditation. Real meditation is not to go someplace and be alone. It helps, but it's not the substance. The substance is to have completely open mind, being like space. Not thinking, now they have shut up, so I can have peace. That is a very shallow form of meditation. Fixating on quietness and stillness, that is not one of the 4 sentences the Buddha gave when asked, what is necessary for a brave man or woman, boy or girl, who wishes to quickly awaken to true and complete enlightenment. And then the Buddha gave 4 sentences. And if you get closer to the meaning of these 4 and train in them more often, you will for sure soon awaken to true and complete enlightenment. He said, cultivate an attitude free from bias. Cultivate an attitude free from aggression. Cultivate an attitude with altruistic love. Cultivate an attitude completely free like groundless space. Completely open mind. Then you will find that the Bardo of the dream becomes a workable situation. Let's sing the line from Pema, a treasure teaching, which is actually from Yeshe Tsogyal, the female disciple of Padmasambhava. One evening, he looked at her quite insistently and he said, "Watch your dreams and remember." That was all it took. And she thought, why? I don't have anything special. She usually said stuff like that. But actually, she did dream something very special that night. She traveled on invitation to the land of Dakinis, known as Celestial Udiyana. And there she was invited in to meet three main Dakinis, standing one in the middle and one to either side. And as she got closer, she received empowerment and instructions. And one of them said, "Daughter, have you forgotten who you are?" And obviously she had, because she dissolved into one of the three. And then she was given more blessings, and all the instructions she remembered, and when she woke up, she wrote them down. And they're called the Mother Tantra, the secret applications. And the Song of the Six Bardos is from that collection. Kan du høre den frem? Relax a little bit. Yeah. I found those verses are a great blessing. There is a song of almost the same wording found in the Bardo total, the verses for liberation through hearing in the Bardo. This is one of the extra teachings, which is called the Song of Reminding Oneself. Du spillede den lige før. Hvad? Nå, du beder ham om at gøre det.
Pema, now that while the bardo of this lifetime is unfolding, I will not be lazy since there is no time to waste, and turn on the distractions path of hearing, thinking, training, while it is just now I have the precious human form. Since this free and favored form ought to have real meaning, emotion and samsara shall no longer hold the rein. Pema, now that while the bardo of the dream state is unfolding, I will not sleep like a corpse so careless, ignorant, knowing everything is self-display with recognition. Capture dreams, conjure, transform, translucid wakefulness. Instead of lying fast asleep like animals are sleeping, I will use the Dharma just as in the waking state. Pema.
This is the Dharmakaya Yogini, mother of all the Dakinis, who gave this instruction with simple words so that everyone can understand. This is not philosophy, which is complex and require a lot of thought and familiarity with complex terminology. It simply means that remember this while you dream. In order to remember it while you dream, sing it many times before that, so that you don't sleep like a corpse. This should make us all kind of wake up a little bit. It helps me to be told, you're sleeping like a corpse, you're careless and ignorant. I think, me? How can I have any faults? That kind of resistance is a proof that we have faults. Because the dream state, which arises out of deep sleep, is totally ignorant, like a corpse, and without any care for one's own future well-being, without any care for all sentient beings or for anyone else. Can be nothing more selfish than that, than deep sleep. Knowing everything is self-display. Whatever arises out of this state, which is called dreams, needs to be acknowledged, recognized, so that we become aware of what unfolds. First, this is dreaming taking place. Then we capture the dream, we take hold of being conscious while it's unfolding. Then we can use additional practices, conjuring and transforming. That is more advanced. But especially train in lucid wakefulness, which is acknowledging the Dharmakaya mother, transcendental knowing, beyond likeness, beyond words, and beyond thoughts. And that kind of teaching you should have received either directly or in a process of first shamatha and then vipassana. But it means that this mind becomes aware of its own nature, at will, not by accident or once in a 10-year experience, not like that, but at will. Every time you remind yourself, you are able to recognize again your own nature, exactly as it was when you first experienced it. I met an old Tibetan woman, the mother of Urgyen Topgyal Rinpoche and Tikka Kongtrul, and 2 more sons and a daughter. And she told that when she recognized the nature of mind when she was a young woman, and until now, when she was an old gray-haired lady, there had been absolutely no change, no improvement, no going down. The very substance of the recognizing the nature of mind has been unchanged. No rising, no ceasing, identity like space. That is how it should be. Kan vi gå tilbage til teksten? Jeg har set de ansigter der. Nå, det kan de ikke ellers. Ja, det er lige meget. So, therefore, make up your mind now. Instead of lying fast asleep like animals are sleeping, and I will make the same wish. I will use the Dhamma just as in the waking state. The conceptual Dhamma of making sure that this mind is less engrossed or involved in selfish emotions, and more in harmony with the bodhisattva mind of all past noble practitioners. I will use the Dharma just as in the waking state, relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. What is ultimate bodhicitta? It is no other than being face to face with or acknowledging the noble mother of all Buddhas. It's not something else than your own nature. It's not something else than shunyata or dharmakaya. As a matter of fact, it's the very basis for all Dharma practice. And it is what makes the Buddha's teaching special, incredible. The real value is found right there. I will use the Dharma just as in the waking state. So first of all, make all possible effort to use the Dharma in the waking state, and then when falling asleep, aim your mind at appreciating the Great Mother, which is also the heart of your root guru, your foremost or primary teacher. This is what he or she realized, and that is what you fell in love with, and what you became a follower of, that kindness and that wisdom. It's not something else. So when we supplicate the Great Mother, it's the same as supplicating your own root teacher and the lineage gurus, because that is what they all recognized and trained in and became stable in. Otherwise, they would not have been lineage masters. There would be no real substance to pass on. Of course, they could read some scriptures loud, they could explain something, but that means that the lineage of enlightenment had been interrupted. Luckily, today it's not interrupted. We have and we can meet wisdom teachers for whom the Great Mother of all Buddhas is a living experience, almost unbroken. That is the kind of teacher we should follow in the footsteps of. That is the kind of teacher to stay with, not only meet and have tea with, but to stay with. And Padmasambhava said, in our lineage, we stay with the Guru for many, many years. Not only visiting and getting a vase on the top of our head, and that is called empowerment. It's more than that. You need to totally surrender body, voice, mind, and to become one with the substance of the wisdom lineage. Or, if not possible, then make the wish, may it be possible. May it be possible as soon as possible. Best in this lifetime, but if not, in all future lives. May I never be separated from an authentic teacher. That prayer we make every day at the end of a session. But before that, let's spend a little time in either calling upon or loving or admiring or coming closer to being face to face with our real mother of all Buddhas, transcendental insight, transcendental knowing, prajna paramita, which is accessible in any given moment, but especially during what we call meditation, being like space. A meditation session does not have to be longer than this, but it needs to be repeated many times in one day. So rather than meditating for many hours while one is a beginner, it is more effective to train in short sessions, but many times, because it's more fresh, you're more ready, and you're more free, meaning unoccupied. Those three, fresh, ready, unoccupied, are the main, you can say, beginning qualities in shamatha. Fresh, ready, unoccupied. And then, after a while, train one more time. That is how to make fast progress. Rather than sitting half asleep for long hours and then feeling bad about being distracted. Of course we get distracted. This is our habit. You can say it's our nature, relative nature. Love distraction. So it's not that distraction is hurting our meditation. We are hurting our meditation, not somebody else. So it's completely natural to get distracted and diverted. And the remedy for that is to one more time, like this. Deeply relax. Deeply meaning from deep within, from your heart, from your bones, from the soles of your feet. Totally relax. Especially at the end of the out-breath, letting everything go while breathing out. Then be like space for a short while. And then start to think of something. Never mind. Everybody does that. It's no big deal. Just make a good wish that may this practice be helpful for this mind until the end of whatever, and for all other minds too. So now I would like to conclude by dedicating the goodness of this to the long life of the king of Vidyadharas, Dzongsar Khyentse Rinpoche, and to all other masters of his type. There are others, just so you know it, even though you love him very dearly. I love him too. But there are many of the same caliber. Not that many, but many. And we shouldn't be too close-minded. Open to that whoever has realized the Great Mother and others who have too, may their life be long, may their wishes and activities be fulfilled, and may there be all good things happening. Less war, less bullshit, less famine and disease. May all good things happen. Let's chant the dedication together. Yeah. Then we take 3 minutes break, and then I'll answer some questions if I'm able to. Sight, sounds, knowing, Deva mantra, Dhamma kaya realm. Play of kayas and the wisdoms boundlessly unfold. In this practice of great yoga, secret and profound, Let everything be just one taste, the non-dual sphere of mind. In every single lifetime, may we never be apart. From authentic teachers, Dharma's splendor to enjoy, completing all the virtues of the Bhumis and the path. May we all attain Vajradhara state. May the precious and sublime awakened mind rise in those where it has not arisen yet. Once arisen, may it never fade away, but continue to increase forevermore. All right, I'll be back in a little while.
Thank you so very much, Erik, for the amazing teaching. While we are waiting for Erik to return to answer our questions, we'd like to show you a short film on the Bardo of Dream that was produced as an offering for this occasion by our Siddhartha's Intent Australia Sangha member, Leanne Metcalf. Thank you, Michael.
When we awaken from the dream of life, we realize that everything we experience was merely an illusion, like a passing dream.
I find I'm a multitude of different dreamers, dreaming moment by moment. Wake up.
The thing is, everything is dreamlike.
Contemplating the nature of dream helps question all my assumptions. What if this is all a dream? Instant lucidity, and exploring the creative power of the mind.
Awaken to the truth that life itself is a dream.
When I want you in my arms and I know you with all your charms, whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream.
The dreamer and the dreamt are not separate, they arise together. Recognize the dreamlike nature of existence and you will awaken to your true nature.
Always aspire to recognize that your dreams are just dreams.
You want to know it's a dream? That's your practice.
Dreams are the whispers of our deeper selves, seeking to awaken us to our inherent wisdom. Listen to their messages with an open heart.
The dream is the reflection of the mind, and the mind is the essence of all phenomena.
Dreaming this liquid landscape of nights and days and sorrows and desires, we are neither here nor there nor anywhere else.
Dreams are like the illusion of magic show.
Dream time.
I need you so I could die. I love you so. This is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream.
Please remember to put your questions in. Erik will be returning shortly to answer our questions. I hope everyone's putting their questions. Erik always answers questions so thoroughly and so beautifully. So please ask your questions.
I'm ready for questions.
Hey everyone, do you hear this microphone? Okay. First question. How to recognize it is a dream when I'm dreaming?
It happens as a result of prior training, decision wishes, and especially blessings in the form of inspiration from a competent guide. I would stay away from clinical Dharma practice where you use point A, then you check point B, just like a pilot before flying. It's your sincerity, devotion, and compassion is the most important here.
How does training in meditation help Bardo of Dream? Do Bardo of Meditation and Bardo of Dream support each other?
Yes, definitely. If it's a real meditation, authentic, that means that it depletes the tendency to hold on to the screen as being real and solid identity, and what occurs on the screen as being real, solid, permanent entities. Real, authentic meditation is without that. So, of course, that it dilutes or dissolves the tendency for concreteness, and thereby acknowledging dream as dream becomes more easy. Yes?
Some time ago, I read a book that claimed that dream practice could be dangerous. Can it really?
How about dreaming being dangerous? That's nonsense. As a matter of fact, the worst has already happened, so no need to be so afraid. We're already stuck in samsaric mind and trying to get out. So the worst that could happen is actually something that has happened. It's the ultimate conspiracy theory. They're not out to get you. You did it yourself. Not the present you, but a former you. So you can't even get out of it by saying, I'm sorry. So it's the ultimate conspiracy. But it's not real. We need to realize that as soon as possible. But just saying it's not real is not going to help that much.
What is dream yoga?
That is usually part of the 6 yogas of Naropa or Padmasambhava. And they given to people who have done the Ngondro, gone through the Ngondro, and gone through Yidam practice, said all the mantras and so forth. Then the mind is supposedly ready to train in the 6 yogas, beginning with 2 more, and then supporting with the others. But it's not a beginner practice. There has to be some flexibility of mind, especially going through the 6 paramitas, so that genuine kindness is not some foreign element where you have to think, hey, what happened? I felt kind. Next.
When I see the space of mind doing dream, the dream dissolve and I wake up, is there a way to continue sleeping while still sustaining the practice?
Yes, go back to sleep. Next.
Are there some dreams that we can trust the blessings of, like dreams of our teachers and so on?
Yes, but not ultimately. I heard a story about a meditator, meaning someone who spends all the time in retreat, having either vision or dream of Padmasambhava appearing in the sky before you and said, you should throw your vajra and bell into over the cliff and into the valley. So he did that, and when he met his guru again, the guru said, you fool. Don't believe in stuff like that. So you have to be very careful with being too naive and thinking that dreams are real. When this Buddha and Padmasambhava and all past Buddhas have said dreams are the primary example for illusion, that things are not real, then why should we go against that and think, my dreams are real? Why? Because I am important. I'm special. So my illusions or delusions, they must be special. I can tell you they're not.
Is there a practice we can do to help the practice of dreaming?
Yes.
Or help practice while dreaming? when falling asleep?
Yes, those you should learn from your personal teacher. Here I'm giving a general talk, I'm not giving specific advice, now you should do such and such. It's not my job. Next.
For beginners, after recognizing the dream, what is the best next steps?
Be kind. Don't focus on being selfish. Usually when one is given a lot of money or a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, then you can ask people what do they want to do then. Usually it's selfish. You have to overcome the major obstacles for enlightenment is selfish emotions, self-centeredness. That is the main practice to work on for a beginner, whether it's dream or waking state. Untie the knot of selfishness. The knot. Otherwise, all dreams become something for me, what I would like to do, what I can get. It's the expression, the wording of somebody who's possessed by the demon of selfishness. If what comes up in your dream is, how can I help not just one, but many, not just temporarily, but for the lasting good, then you have begun real dream yoga. Otherwise, it's just dreaming. No big deal. Everybody's dreaming. Dreaming at night and at daytime, daydreaming. That's bad news, right? Untie the knot of selfishness. It's tightened so hard because of being tied again and again and again. Almost every moment of thinking is about me, me, me. So it's hard to kick that habit. We can untie it gently, and we try all at once in meditation state. It's not easy to stay that way. If we have been introduced to authentic meditation, then all at once it's possible, but not for very long. Check it yourself. To go ahead and use the example of a paper that has been rolled up for a long time. You try to stretch it out and then let go. Let go in non-duality. And what happens? It winds up immediately. We are like that. Not everyone, of course, but in general, sentient beings are like that. So then the softener of relative bodhicitta is very important. Training in being kind, cultivating the attitude of altruistic love, and so forth. The four decisions I read loud at the beginning, they're really, really important for meditation, for being like the open like space, and especially for having completely open mind. It'd be much nicer if I could just say, press this button and at the beginning of dream yoga, and then you will fly straight to the Buddha fields. Wouldn't it be much nicer to hear that? Instead of Erik saying, untie the knot of selfishness. You feel like you're doomed, but you are not. It's the only way. and it's a sure way, and it has been traveled by millions and millions of people just like you, with success. Yes?
Could you say a bit more on how to trust and recognize the mother?
One way is by thinking about it. That is part of the solution. And the other, meaning thinking about it, is what is it all the past Buddhas and Bodhisattvas realized in order to awaken? What is it? And how did they recognize? Read biographies of past masters and find out what happened. What happened in their life? How did they get to that point? What did they go through to be ready for it? And then try to follow the same track, to be ready, cultivate a sense of readiness. That is the most important, rather than grasping for the result that comes after being ready. Work on the readiness.
How can I purify actions committed in the dream Bardo? Is it the same way as in awakened Bardo?
Yes. You purify the karma of aggression by cultivating love and compassion, whether it's dream or not dream. When you feel like drowning in a dream, look around and see, are there other people or animals drowning, and then save them first. That's a good way to purify karma. Yes?
How can I find the Great Mother within during my daily activities? Can you give us some advice for that?
There's only one way, and that is pause and look. When one is caught up in daily life, it's very difficult to see the screen while watching a movie. You can try it out. One doesn't pause, so you need to make something artificial to stop artificially. Halt, pause, take a break, and then look, and then you can continue after. But while being involved, engrossed, busy, occupied, then it's very hard to be free while being occupied. In other words, first shamatha, then vipassana. That's a tried and proven way. Yes?
How can waking state be more real than the dream state? Isn't the quality of illusion the same?
No, it's not the same. In the waking state, you can be shot and you die. In the dream state, you can be shot and you don't die. It's not the same. In the waking state, you find $1 million in a suitcase. You're rich. In a dream state, you find a suitcase with $1 million. You're not rich when you wake up. It's a big difference.
What is the benefit of practicing seeing our experience as a dream? And how can we bring that into our daily life?
You remind yourself, you investigate, you gain some understanding, you investigate what I call that. Is it findable, yes or no? And what I call this, me, I, myself, is it findable, yes or no? And through this inquiry and investigation, you discover some result. It's either findable or it's not findable. That's called an insight. So when you look for yourself, are you findable, yes or no? And most people that I've been asking about this, they came back and say, sorry, I can't find. So then I said, very good. If it's anything else in this world and you can't find it, it's a loss. But actually this kind of loss of not finding yourself, it's very good. It's called success. Then you can move on to letting that, I won't call it a void, but an open state of mind where you are not able to find yourself, kind of centerless awareness. You can fill that with compassion very easily because it's open and not occupied. So it's a very good way to go. First, discover unfindable awareness, and then fuse that together with compassion. Then you're much more close to discover the mother of all Buddhas. Why? Because the mother of all Buddhas is the open space of love. Your centerless awareness suffused with love. It's a very beautiful, short path. Yes?
Sometimes I wake up feeling very refreshed and sometimes more drained. I try to remember to practice before falling asleep, but my mind strength seems quite low. How can I recognize and steer my mind during sleep? Could you give some advice?
I can't give specific advice for you. Sorry about that. But it's an earnest attempt, then you deserve a reward. A more expensive kind of coffee. Good cup of coffee. Because you're a good boy, a good girl. So you can give yourself a reward and then carry on. Don't focus too much on the result and the success. Focus more on applying the methods. Yes? This is it. That is it. Skal bare se dem. Bare tag en til så. One last.
is there a way to practice during deep sleep?
Yes, and that is the moment before deep sleep. That you first you begin with the calling upon the mother of all Buddhas, for example, in the form of your root guru, that you have a special open mind towards, and who exemplifies for you the Dharmakaya mother. Call on that and say, please help this mind. Don't go into the super ignorance, but give some blessing for that. And then the Guru moves from your top of your head into your heart center, and you just relax, totally gentle and very simple, innocent way while falling asleep. Mingyur Rinpoche, he told me that to really practice good dream yoga in this way, you need two people. One who is awake and one who is falling asleep. And each time you go through the process of the senses shutting down, and you get more and more sleepy, and just you have that jolt when the winds go into the central channel, then the other person will shake you so you wake up again. There's no danger for that. It's a practice, and then you go through it again, and again you get woken up. So you get more and more used to not being so tight and sincerely interested in oblivion. First, you need to develop some detachment from that. Just be honest. How attached are we to falling really into deep sleep? It's a kind of prayer, like a prayer to the God of ignorance. Like we pray so wholeheartedly, can I just fall into deep sleep? And that's the attitude with which people go to sleep. That needs to change. Following the wrong religion. Following the wrong God, the God of ignorance. We need to change that. But it's a hard habit to kick. I'm sorry, it's bad news. We've been praying to that God for so many lifetimes. And then when we finally go into the winds dissolve in the central channel and there's this release, and we're so happy. We're back home in ignorance town, in the good old oblivion. So nice. That needs to change, that kind of faith in oblivion. Otherwise you cannot practice the yoga of deep sleep. Not possible. Can't follow two gods. The god of Rigpa and the god of Marikpa. Cannot follow both at the same time. It's only pretense. I'd like to be awake during deep sleep, but when it really comes to it, I prefer deep sleep. It's like, they say, riding on two horses, they're going in different directions. Fall off on your butt. I'm like that. Most people are like that. So first, learn about the demerits of following the religion of ignorance and oblivion. What is it good for? What is it bad for? And become convinced somehow that one doesn't lead to very good places and the other leads to enlightenment. And then ask yourself, what do you really want? What is your main interest in life? And try not to lie to yourself. It's difficult, but it's necessary. We need to make up our mind, what do we want to use this short life on? when it really comes to the point. It's easier to lie and say, I want to enlightenment, I want to help all sentient beings, but is it really true? Yes or no? Or do we want to just get the cake and run with it? Figuratively speaking. Okay. It's just it. Der var mange smil til den sidste her. Yes, Tsering, go ahead.
Thank you, dear Erik. It's been such a great honor to host you on the Living is Dying program. And may you enjoy good health and live long. And may all your abundant Dharma activities bear excellent fruit. And we're very excited that you've agreed to return to teach more on the exquisite Bardo song of reminding oneself. And we'll look forward so much to that. And thank you also to Rune and to our amazing translators, Youngjun, Jeannie, Olivia, Akiko, Shashi, and Chris, and to our Siddhartha's Intent webinar host, Michael, without whom Erik's wonderful teaching would not have been able to be enjoyed by so many people in such a range of languages. And we welcome you to join us next month on July 9th, when we will explore the Bardo of meditation with guest speaker Jacob Leschly. Thank you so much, Erik.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Can you please lead us in a dedication, Erik?
Yes. But the sister verse, may the precious and sublime. We take the last 4 lines. May the precious and sublime awakened mind rise in those where it has not arisen yet. Once arisen, may it never fade away, but continue to increase forevermore.
Not spotlight, just. Unmute. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. In about 4 hours' time from now, 84,000 Khyentse Foundation, Khyentse Vision, and the Kumar Jiva Project are inviting us to rejoice and join the celebration, dedicating the merit from the recent Khyentse Foundation campaign, the perfection of wisdom for all, to the long life of Dzongsar Khyentse Rinpoche. You can find the link at siddharthasintent.org. Thank you.